Hello and welcome to all Gold viewers who are here with us today. I'm Kristen Schwarz, licensed midwife and one of the MCs here at Gold Learning. And here at Gold, we are very busy getting ready for our Gold Neonatal Conference. And with me here is Kathryn Stagg. Welcome, Kathryn.
Hello, nice to be here.
Nice to have you back here. You've been with us, of course, for our lactation conferences. This time, neonatal. That's a great field for you because you are an expert in multiples. And where are these multiples very often going? Into the NICU, right? So
Absolutely. Yep.
there we go. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Kathryn, just briefly about your background, and then we go into some of the questions about your presentation.
Yep. So I am a twin mum myself. I have to say I was very lucky in that my twins went full term, and so I didn't have to personally use the NICU myself. Um, but so they're now 21, believe it or not. And I also have two more singletons afterwards as well. Crazy, had more children. So they're all boys, four boys. And when my twins were about one, I got given the chance to train as a breastfeeding peer supporter locally so I'm in Harrow in Northwest London. And I thought that would be a really lovely thing to do because I was very lucky and had sort of good breastfeeding support and managed to breastfeed my own babies and, for over a year. And it was just something I really enjoyed. And then I realized that along the way, when I met other twin parents, they hadn't had that same support that I had had,
Mhm.
and they'd found it more difficult. And some of them had not managed to feed when they really wanted to, and all this kind of stuff. So they didn't meet their goals. And I thought this was actually very unfair, which
Mhm.
has made me slightly cross. And I've been fueled by that rage really for the last 20 years. So decided to do something about it. So trained as a breastfeeding peer supporter, and then I sort of volunteered, locally in my area for many, many years in the sort of different peer support groups and such like. And we did a UNICEF project involving multiples in our local hospital as well. So that was very interesting. And then around 11 years ago, I think it was now, I just thought there isn't really a UK-based Facebook group for multiple birth families who want to breastfeed. And, there's a few international ones, but we have quite a unique healthcare system here. And, it's all, stuff that is relevant to the UK families are not always relevant to other families in the rest of the world. So I thought, I know, I'll just set one up as you do. And stayed up till 1 in the morning on that night, set up the Facebook group, invited everybody that I knew who was breastfeeding their babies. And within a year or two, we had several thousand members, and we're on about 13,000, I think it is now, 10 years later.
Amazing.
So there was obviously a massive need for it. So
Yeah,
yeah, and we became a charity back in 2020, so which is lovely.
fantastic. Wow, wonderful. Great work. Yeah, this rage that filled you got you moving
Indeed.
and created all that. And yeah, you were so right when you said that. It's so unfair, because often when we talk about multiples, immediately many care providers go to, artificial milk. They say like, and there's so much misconception about it.
Yeah.
Even many parents think like, oh, I won't have enough milk for two babies, right? Talk to me a little bit about that, what you see, and how
Yeah.
that affects parenting and
Obviously,
breastfeeding.
obviously it's a bit trickier to get enough milk for more than one baby. It is absolutely true, but it's certainly possible, and I've seen it happen many, many times. I managed to breastfeed my own babies. As I said, they were full term, so slightly different journey. But I've supported so many people over the years who have managed to exclusively breastfeed their twins and even their triplets from a neonatal journey onwards as well. So it's absolutely possible to do that. But you're right. So many healthcare professionals just assume that they're not going to do it or they're not going to want to do it. It's going to be too much for them. I always say to people, nobody should be telling you what you're
Right.
feeling. First of all, if you're a
Hmm.
mum of twins and you want to breastfeed, then you should definitely
Right.
be supported to do so. It's not up to anyone else to have an opinion on that. And yes, we can, help as best we can. We can make it as easy as we can for them to do so. We can give them the correct information and support and such like, which will just help them on their way. But at the end of the day, if they want to do
Hmm.
it, they should be supported to do so.
Yeah.
And so many times it's that parents don't, as soon as they realize it is actually possible, they then go, right, okay, I'm going to do this then.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
until they work out that it is actually possible,
Yeah.
you know, they sometimes think that they're not going to be able to. So you wouldn't necessarily try that hard in that
Right.
situation if you're not going to
Yeah.
if you know you're not going to succeed anyway. So it's important for them to know it's possible
Right.
to do.
Yeah. And that's why we need this kind of education. So parents know this is possible because if you go into the situation thinking I can't do it anyway, right? But if they just knew
Yep,
that there might be a possibility, I could think that many parents would choose that route, even if it is
yep,
maybe difficult. Now, talking about the NICU, we know for the neonatal care units for these little ones, maybe they're a little early or have some other medical concerns.
yep,
Human milk is really the gold standard, right? Like
yep.
human milk is best for these little ones in the NICU, as a donor milk or mother's milk if that's available. So talk to me about that for the very little ones there in the NICU. What are some concerns? What are some barriers?
Yeah, I think one of the most important things really is the whole kind of the kind of gut, the microbiome,
Mm,
NEC, necrotizing enterocolitis. We don't want babies to be exposed to formula if possible, especially those babies born before 32 weeks, those kind of really
hmm
early preemies. They're much higher risk of getting an NEC, and that's a really nasty, horrible bowel disease. And there's so much research out there which shows that managing to keep these babies on human milk in those, especially in those first few weeks, but long term if possible as well, of course, but
Right.
massively reduces the risk of NEC developing. And babies die from this, and they have horrible
hmm
surgery where they take half their bowel away and all sorts of, it's a really, really nasty thing.
Yeah.
So, but just getting the microbiome as healthy as possible as well. If they're starting their journey in a hospital environment,
hmm
it's so important for them to be exposed to these, the good bacteria from their parents, skin to skin and the colostrum and being
Yeah.
able to enable them to have that is, it just means that their long-term health is likely to be better,
hmm
basically. And we're learning so much all the time, aren't we, about the microbiome and actually how fundamental it is to our health and well-being. It's very new research, really. We still don't, there's a hell of a lot more to understand about
Yes,
this.
absolutely. I feel like we're just scratching the surface. There's so much
Absolutely.
research coming out, and we still learn after all these many
Yeah.
decades so much more. Now, when it comes to multiples in the NICU, what stands out there for you? What do you see? What do you hear? What do you wish people would know?
Yeah, I think it's just sometimes hospitals are set up very much for one parent, one baby, or
hmm
two parents, one baby.
hmm
And sometimes they just don't they just haven't thought about it. I think it's
Yeah.
just not, it's not that it's done with any sort of, maliciousness. No, we can't accommodate you. You've got twins. That's obviously not the case at
hmm
all. But sometimes it would just the things that are set up well for one baby just don't work well
Right.
for when you've got more than one. So just things, really little things like having the two babies, if you've got twins, having them next to each other so that they
hmm
can easily sit between the two cots and just have easy access to both babies. And just little things like that can just make life a lot easier, and just
hmm
giving them time that they can spend with having a individual time with each baby. So especially if they're starting to try and to establish breastfeeding, maybe doing the tube feed so they're not at the same time, so that they can have the tube feed during the breastfeed as well, and
hmm
so that they can have a little bit of individual time, but also really valuing that twin bond as well. So enabling
hmm
some maybe skin to skin with both babies at the same time, and and
hmm
and that kind of stuff. So just thinking about things from the parents' point of view and from the baby's
hmm
point of view, what might kind of help when they're in this
Absolutely.
situation.
Love that so much. Kathryn, before I let you go, what are you hoping our viewers will take away from this presentation?
The presentation really is from the point of view of parents, and that's
hmm
that's I think something that's very important. I put my hands up straight away. I've never worked in a neonatal unit. I've never really worked in a hospital, so I don't know about it from the staff's point of view, and kind of how that works. But I do an awful lot of support with parents and parents that have been through this journey and how they found it. And also, we have got a slightly unique outlook because I know what happens next once they're
hmm
discharged home, and then we continue to support them via our charity over the next months, years, however long they decide to breastfeed. We continue to support them the whole time. So
hmm
so it's quite a unique perspective, and I'm hoping that that's something that
Yeah,
the people watching will find valuable. So,
I think that's very valuable because, we hear that again and again from NICU staff. They often don't know what happens next, even if they wanted to know what
yep,
happens next, but there's so it is great to have that perspective. Number one, the family-centered care and the family aspect of it.
yep,
Also, what happens next. So we can really set up these families for success when they are coming out of the NICUs, right? So that's why that perspective is so very, very important.
yep.
Well, thank you so much, Kathryn Stagg, for being here with me. And we're looking forward to the presentation here at Gold. And thank you for all that you do there with your charity as well.
Thank you for having me.
And here's some information now for our viewers. This presentation, Lactation Care for Multiples in the NICU, from milk supply to direct breastfeeding, is part of the add-on package for our neonatal conference of 2026. We get started just around the corner. June 1st, we get started with a free open access keynote presentation. So you can sign up for that. Please share that also with your friends and colleagues in the field. You will find that at goldneonatal.com for more information. So thank you all for watching, and we hope to see you all at the conference. Bye bye, everyone.